A legend says goodbye and a new champion is crowned. Ladies and gentlemen, we are SOS Wrestle Talk. We are back at y'all once again for another show review. This time it's a live show review. I was actually in attendance in the audience. I was in Chicago, Illinois. I was there for New Japan Pro Wrestling's Windy City Riot. It took place on April 11th, 2025, like I said, in Chicago, Illinois, in the Wintrust Arena right here. So New Japan has a history of Chicago over the last few years. Ultimately, this was a huge night. It was an emotional night, especially for Hiroshi Tanahashi. He was wrestling his final ever match on U.S. soil at the show that took place this past Friday. I keep saying last night. I keep thinking that it's yesterday because this weekend has just been encompassing. So in the main event of this show, he's going to take on Konosuke Takeshita for the Never Openweight Championship right here. So Takeshita actually has set the record for the Never Openweight Championship with 5 defenses right now. So we have a couple other title matches on the show. We got a Never Openweight Championship match on the show. We have an IWGP World Championship match on the show. New Japan Strong tag titles, New Japan Strong Openweight title. We have a multitude of title matches on the show. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and get this started. So first match we had, the pre-show, we had Zane J taking on and defeating CJ Tino. I was not in the building yet. I was actually getting my ticket scanned. So I was not there to pretty much see that match, but it is what it is. I'm sure if you saw that match, you were there. If you saw it on the pre-show, let me know what you thought about it. Like I said, I was not there to see it, but I was there most definitely for the first match. So the first match we had on the show in the main card, we had TJP taking on and getting the victory over Tom Lawlor right here. He got the victory with the Mamba Splash. So this is a solid opener. Both of these guys look very crisp in the ring right here. This was a nice match for the crowd, so I'm trying to figure out how that played out on TV. But I enjoyed this match right here, and these two have pretty solid chemistry. So interested to see where TJP goes on from here. Gets the victory over former New Japan Strong Openweight Champion, that being Tom Lawlor. And we move on up the card. Next match we had Mina Shirakawa taking on Azumi right here. And the winner of this match will be the number 1 contender for the New Japan Strong Women's Championship. So I thought this match was fine. The crowd did not receive the ending well because there was a double count out here. Did not think that would happen. Actually, the people that I went, we were talking amongst us, and we thought maybe Mercedes would have came out after the count out to kind of, I guess give the crowd something. So this match was really good as far as its pace and energy, if you ask me. Had a lot of edge of your seat action. So I'm thinking this might lead to a triple threat, but I can't see them continuing the story and having another one-on-one match. But it was deflating in for the crowd, so I just thought they were going to do something with that, and they just didn't. They was just like, oh, it's a double DQ, which is a rare thing in pro wrestling. So the next match we have the world-class wrecking crew of Jorel Nelson and Royce Issacs taking on and defeating the intergalactic jet setters, that being Kevin Knight, Kushida, for the strong openweight tag team titles right here. The champions retain. I thought this was a really fine tag team match right here. So they've had some solid performance out of the world-class wrecking crew. It'll be interesting to see if they get over in Japan. They got the victory here as well, so I might as well just say that. They got the victory. They got the win over Kushida. He got a suplex, and he got pinned right there to Kushida. So world-class wrecking crew defender tag team titles. Solid tag team match right here. So this is some very nice stuff. I think WCWC, one of the most underrated tag teams going in pro wrestling, and they proved it here, and they are champions. So the next match we have Tomohiro Ishii taking on and defeating Gabe Kidd for the Strong Openweight Championship. This was a 30-minute Iron Man match. So he got the victory via 2-1, I believe. So we went to a sudden death, and that's where Tomohiro Ishii was able to pick up the victory. I'm kind of of two minds here, actually, because one, I think this is an awesome match. I enjoyed this match, especially with the live crowd. I thought this match turned off very, very well. And it kind of suckered me because I was even asking some of my friends, I'm like, is this an Iron Man match? I don't really see anything as far as a scoreboard or anything that will indicate a fall victory here to either of the competitors. So that kind of had me confused. And how they wrestled the match, it really wasn't how they wrestled the Iron Man match. Early on, they really weren't going for pinfalls at all. So that kind of was maybe jarring to people who have maybe watched a lot of Iron Man matches. And another thing to Iron Man matches is pretty much the last 5 minutes is like the most important part of an Iron Man match, unfortunately. So you have the stuff going on in the early bits of the match, but it really doesn't pay that much, it really doesn't play that into account till the end. So I could see why a lot of people's would be maybe, averse, opposed to an Iron Man match, but I thought this match was solid. This is probably one of my matches of the year, and I don't know if that's probably because I was there in attendance for the match, but that's what it is. Tomohiro Ishii is the new New Japan Strong Openweight champion. We're going to see what they do with Gabe Kidd here, following from this. So, because I figured the reason they put this belt on Tomohiro Ishii is he's over in Japan, or over in America a lot, and he's going to be back and forth between AEW, New Japan Strong. I think it just kind of makes sense for him to have that belt. It is what it is. Gabe Kidd will be on the bigger and better things. The next match we had Los Ingobernables, De Japons, Tetsuya Naito, and Titan taking on defeating El Phantasmo and Rocky Romero for the win. So we got Naito incapacitating El Phantasmo, hitting him with a Destino. Then we get an extra top rope suicida from Titan to getting the victory over Rocky Romero. So post-match, Naito and Titan teased a fan who was dressed as Jushin Thunder like, in the front row. He attempted to cross the barricade, but the security guard was like, nah, player, what are you doing? Just because they said that, don't do that. So honestly, if you ask me, Titan was a bright spot of this match, if not the best part of the match. So he is a very fresh face and a super welcome presence over here in New Japan Pro Wrestling. We got Rocky Romero and ELP bickering a lot of this match, so that's kind of telling a little bit of story in itself. And this is Naito right here, pretty much just being the star that he is in this match. And he had fun, I had fun. I thought it was super enjoyable. Next, we have a special singles match right here. We have Zack Sabre Jr. taking on and defeating David Finlay right here. This match was good. These styles mesh together very nicely right here. We got Finlay with the power outside of moves, and we have Sabre Jr. with the technical style. So they tried to overcome each other's styles right here. At the end, it was Zack Sabre Jr. overcoming David Finlay's power offensive style, getting the victory right here. The referee actually botched one of the spots because he counted. It was pretty much a 3 on the Sabre driver, but Finlay kicked that. He still counted 3 count. Crowd, of course, let him know that he royally messed up. So, and as the way that pro wrestling fans do, but that was kind of a. That didn't really help. That didn't really, if you ask me, it didn't really take away from the match. I thought maybe he could have added to it in some kind of way, but Zack Sabre Jr. gets the victory over David Finlay, and I'm assuming that he's going to be throwing his name in the hat for the challenge for the IWGP World Heavyweight title. So that'll let us know here in the penultimate match. So speaking of the penultimate match, we have for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship, we had the champion, Hirooki Goto, taking on and defeating Shota Umino right here. He gets the victory via the GTR. This match was actually kind of solid. It started off pretty slow, but once we start getting to the mid and latter parts of this match, they really picked up. And I thought this was pretty much too soon for Shota Umino to be in a main event title picture match. But he and Goto put on a really solid semi-main event here. It had, like I said, it had little motion to begin, but by the end, it started really picking up right here. So Goto, in my opinion, has been a very worthy IWGP World Heavyweight Champion. Even in some of his weaker defenses and some against his weaker opponents, he's been a very worthy champion, and hats off to Goto. And Chicago, the crowd loved him, so he was received very well by the crowd in attendance. So shout out to Hirooki Goto. For the main event, we get a Young Bucks promo. I cannot hear anything what they're saying. They're getting booed out the building to get the crowd saying, "Fuck you, Young Bucks." I know basically nothing about what they're talking about right here. So I guess I had to look it up. I'm going to look it up. Give me a second. All right, so it looks like in that promo video that I cannot hear because they were drowned out by freaking noise. Matt and Nick declared intentions of bringing a couple friends with them to the New Japan Resurgence Show in Ontario, California. So it looks like it might be Doc Gallows and Carl Anderson. So we'll see what transpires here in the upcoming weeks with that. So, and actually I said March 9th. I misspoke. That's actually going to be May 9th. I don't know why I said March, but it is what it is. So in the main event of this show, we had Konosuke Takeshita taking on and defeating Hiroshi Tanahashi for the Never Openweight Championship right here. He got the victory via Raging Fire, and it was a very cathartic win, you could tell, for Konosuke Takeshita. He was very overwhelmed with emotion right here, getting his victory. Takeshita helped Tanahashi to his feet here. He shook his hand. When he's getting ready to leave with Takeshita, we get like an interaction between ELP and Konosuke Takeshita. So it looks like he's going to be challenging for that Never Openweight title. Will ELP? So we got to keep our eye out on that. Crowd's chanting for Tanahashi feverishly. This is a very fitting end to this show. The crowd is cheering for him. with his final American performance. Yeah, man, Hiroshi Tanahashi, tip my cap to you, brother. I've seen you many times live. I've seen you many times on the New Japan World screen. And every time I see you, I do not take you for granted. Good sir. Good sir. I can spot him so I can talk. This is a very exciting pro wrestling night, if you ask me. There were some matches here. The WCWC and the Jet Setters, that match fucking ruled. We got Goto making Umino look strong here at the end. Tanahashi put on a solid, good performance, damn near great performance in the main event right here. Gabe Kidd, Tomohiro Ishii putting on one of the best matches of the year, in my opinion. Yeah, I think New Japan Pro Wrestling Windy City Riot was actually a dub. It was a win, man. A+ from me. So you get no arguments from your boy. So the next time they will be in America, it will be May 9th, like I said, and that will be New Japan Pro Wrestling Resurgence in Ontario, California. We'll be on our way to Wrestling Dantaku over on the Japan side of things. But yeah, this is just a solid freaking show. And if you got a chance to watch this on New Japan World, whether it be Triller, whatever, what have you, check it out. I've very much thoroughly enjoyed this show. Yeah, man, I can't wait to get to see more New Japan action with my own eyes live. So, it's been your boy, Blunt Cianito, El Toro Negro, the Human Ally J-Cap, signing off for SOS Wrestle Talk right here. My New Japan Pro Wrestling Windy City Riot review. I'm going to holler at all y'all good people later. Till next time, peace.